they would probably like to have better role models and better values to focus on. In your
Mhm.
opinion, what are the things that can predict a healthy psychology for a woman? Where are the places that affirm that she could stand, that would make her life better and would also make the lives of the people around her better?
I think the key, I know I talk a lot about how everybody's similar, but in the sense that everybody's also different, is authenticity. Here's a trick for mental health as a woman. You remain completely and utterly authentic, and you can't know that if you jump on other people's bandwagons, if you imitate the culture around you, if you imitate the other people's experiences, if you adopt values that you haven't actually experienced. So a lot of feminists will say, oh, oppressed men, workplace. And then I'll say to them, who oppressed you at the workplace? Oh, my boss, she was a bitch. I'm like, she was a bitch? Yeah. The guy was great. The manager was great. He was lovely, but the woman. So I'm asking them, what is your lived experience? Is it really that men have been oppressing you? No, they've never actually treated me that badly. Right. The moment you lose touch with your authenticity, you start living in a delusion. And when we live in a delusion, we are almost, it's a predictable, slow and steady suicide emotionally and psychologically. So start to live according to your authenticity. What do you truly want? Well, do you truly want to sleep with this guy to look cool and to act like a bad bitch? No, you don't. How do you feel afterwards? I feel shit. So why are you doing it? Do you really want to text your ex after a fight with your boyfriend? No, but I just want to get even. Why are you doing it? Do you truly want to post that picture of you out there and just have to deal with DMs all day? And do you truly feel good when you post on that OnlyFans? No, but I just want a bag. What do you want to do with that bag? I don't know. I don't even use them. Stay in touch with your authentic self. I promise you it's the cure to any psychological or mental health issue.
Do the equivalent, but for men.
I'm sorry?
Do the equivalent that you've just run through there, but for men, the authenticity side.
I would say it's similar to I would say it's same thing for men. I think if you want strong psychological health, slightly different, what I would say for men. The key for a man is self-control. For women, it's authenticity. You have to stay authentic as possible because our body tells us so much. Our body will tell you when you're craving a child, when you're getting angry, when you're getting hostile, because our hormones are all over the place. For a man, your body sometimes speaks against you. It will crave, pleasure all the time. Your key to successful mental health is complete and utter self-control in terms of your mind, body, and soul. You control what you consume. You don't watch everything. You don't go into every desire. You control who you put yourself into. You don't go and sleep with everyone anyway. You actually gain far more self-esteem when you reject women than when you accept women. There is that man that has women that he's rejecting feels far greater than that man who can't say no to anybody because he's jumping at the opportunities. Self-control even with what you eat. When I have clients that come to me and they've got a bit of depression, I say to them, until you go to the gym and until you lose weight, there's no conversation that me and you can have that will change your self-esteem. It won't do it, because me and you can have a great conversation, but when you go and take a shower or when you go and get undressed in front of a woman, everything I've said to you won't mean anything. So self-control with what you eat. Go work out. Don't have to have a six-pack, but self-control. Now, when a man practices self-control, he becomes such an unshakable being, because none of his friends can make him drink alcohol if he doesn't want it. No woman can make him spend money on her if he doesn't want to. No gambling machine can make him waste money if he doesn't want to. He becomes indispensable as a man. So self-control, I really believe, is the root of a man's self-esteem.
I think one of the interesting circles that's difficult to square in some of the corners of men's advice at the moment is that self-control and self-mastery are a big deal, that you should train hard, you should be disciplined, you should get up on time, do your cold plunge and your sauna and your gym workout and work on your business and read and be able to quote Marcus Aurelius. But as soon as you have a plethora of women that are in front of you, you should sleep with as many as you want. So self-control and
right?
self-mastery stop at the boundaries of the penis, which is an odd sense of
the most
hypocrisy.
dangerous place to stop, because children, keyword, The most dangerous place to stop your self-control is your penis, because your penis is responsible for life. Now, if you don't master self-control when it comes to who you're having sex with, you are now we're living in a times where pregnancies, everything favors women. You get the wrong woman pregnant, for the rest of your life, you are tied to this woman, and you can go to jail for not paying child support for a woman who might even be lying, you might not even be the father of a child. That's what a risk having sex with low quality people means. You risk the rest of your life. It's a death sentence if you get the wrong person pregnant. And even if you don't, I always say it lowers your standards. You can't be doing that. So this is what I don't understand a lot about the masculine kind of frame, especially online dating for the younger generation. They teach men to just have no discipline when it comes to sexual behaviors. What do you think about that?
I think it is.
You're a man, so I'm asking you because maybe it's something I'll never understand.
I'm not sure. I think that there is so much status assigned to being attractive and being chosen by women. Mm-hmm. And, everything else that you do is a proxy for that in any case. Maybe some of it is to do with survival, but the nice car and the fancy watch and the red bottom Louboutins and the follow account on Instagram and the blue tick and all of that stuff, they are all proxies for look at my mate value go up, right? And the most direct way that you can prove to yourself that your mate value is high, and you can prove to everybody around you that your mate value is high, is to sleep with women. And, I worked in the nightlife industry for 15 years. So I saw this firsthand. I was in the trenches of all of this stuff that was going on. This is the currency that everybody is using. So I understand why it's there. I mean, none of these conversations were happening 15 years ago. Nobody was saying, guys, maybe you should try and keep it in your pants. Maybe the height of masculine essence isn't going and sleeping with as many women as possible, because these conversations simply weren't around. Well, I'm sure if you'd read enough books, you would have probably been able to reverse engineer them, but they weren't happening as accessibly as they do now. So I think that that's the reason that it happens. But I would agree. I think that if you are taking your sense of self-worth from your body count as a guy, it's a very fragile place to take it from. There just has to be something deeper than that.
Yeah, but what I always say is men that sleep around with a lot of women or chase women, especially if she's like a quarter of their age and stuff like that, it's no different to a man with new money. When a man grew up with money, you don't see him posting his Lamborghini, his watches and stuff like that. It's just what his dad had a Rolls Royce. He used to get dropped in a limousine to school. He never posts about this stuff because he gets on a private jet to go to places. That guy doesn't post about money because it was never a deprivation. Now, when you're sleeping with so many women, and especially when it's like just a shortcut for status, what that signals is there was a deprivation in self-esteem. At some point in your life, there was some rejection from women, and you're compensating by having no frugality when it comes to selecting a woman now. So for me, when I see a man sleeping with lots of women, I don't actually see it as a status symbol, maybe because my brain is psychologically programmed. I see it as compensatory strategy for low self-esteem as child. Just like the man that's posting his brand new watch and his brand new car, perhaps he didn't grow up with wealth. So it's the same thing. When you show that you're sleeping with a lot of women, to me, it signals you couldn't have got a lot of women when you're growing up, and perhaps it's now time to make up for lost time.
It's a selection mechanism as well, right? Because there is a large cohort of guys that can't get laid, and what you're doing is you're advertising to the world, I'm not one of them. You don't need to worry about me. I'm not part of that particular group of pathologically broken, alone, terminally, it's in solitude